Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Come on in, everybody. Daisy's the early bird this morning that gets the worm, I hope. Uh-oh, sorry. How's everybody doing today? It looks like we got Julian and Hillbilly 29 this morning. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. We're getting ready for the trial today. We're waiting for it to start. Hopefully, we'll have some more witnesses today that comes in. Let's see what we got here. That one don't have anything. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody doing okay? Got 9 people in here. Come on in, everybody. We're just waiting for the trial to start. I know it's early in the morning, early in the day. Come on, everybody. Gonna watch the trial today. Lord have mercy. What's going on, y'all? I'm singing this morning. I don't know why, but I'm singing. I'm sorry. I should be. I feel like crap today. I don't know why, but it's a beautiful sunny day. I gotta get my work done here at work. Oh, Julianne, I know you're at work. You're listening though. Oh, let's just hope that today's going to be a good day. That Adam shows his face, which Adam ain't going to show his face. There's no way that that's going to happen with Adam Montgomery, but we can only hope, right? One can only hope that he shows up, but he ain't going to. I wonder who they're going to interview today. It is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And I'm a singing away. And it's a beautiful day. I don't know why I'm singing for you. I'm just being stupid this morning. Just waiting for justice. It's already been what, 2 weeks? They said it would be around 3 weeks, the trial. So probably most of next week the trial will be. Um, Good morning, Audria. Y'all come on in. I did another video last night of Kayla Montgomery's testimony. So when everybody gets in here, I may go ahead and try to show those testimonies. Um, I know the trial can get a little bit boring, y'all, but they're really important things to know. Let me see here. I'll wait till everybody. Oh, everybody's starting to come on in. Does the defense have any witnesses? I don't know. That's a good question. Look here, the early bird gets the worm. Christine. She's the early bird that gets the worm. You feeling any better, sweetie? You feeling okay? I'm sorry you felt so bad yesterday, Christine. I know these days are like the worst for you, honey. And I'm sorry. I'm praying for you. And just remember, you got to hand it over to God and let Him handle it sometimes. It's what He wants us to do. The counter, there's Dee Dee. What's up with Dee Dee? Yeah. Last night early after I got off that live so I could get up with you. Well, look, there's Domnifer. She is the early bird that gets the worm. Because she's a night shifter, I think. Working from home today, be listening in the background. All right, there we go. See, all of them's coming on in. Every one of the farm fam, every one of the farms is up to seeing here's. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm stupid today. I don't know why I'm in a good mood. I guess it's because that sun's shining. I might take his computer out there on the front porch if it's warm today and sit out there and do a live. Good morning, Angela. Y'all come on in. We're getting ready for this trial. Uh, I don't know what they're going to do today. I think a lot of people is generally just sad because and mad because they're not making that monster stand trial or even for his trial. I think that people are just PO'd over it, and I don't blame them. I would be too. And they're frustrated because they're really not giving it to the ones that should really get it, which is, oh, it's snowing in New York. Hey, Kiki. Just getting coffee, Miss Daisy, but doing good this morning. Good. Snowing? Wow. Hey, Miggy. Hey, Kiki. Uh, a lot of people are upset this morning or during this trial because he's not showed his face. Just kind of letting him off the hook a little bit. That I don't understand at all, but we all know every court system is different. They allow cell phones there. They're not strict, and I blame that on the judge. I think she might be a little bit lenient. And so, hey, Rhonda Lynn and Miggy, that's why that Hey guys, sorry about that. My darn internet went down. So I heard he may want to go do a strip search when he returns back to jail. Oh, hey Sandra Stevens. Okay, finally my internet's back up, y'all. Hang on. No, it's not. What the frig, y'all? I don't know how I could do this from my cell phone. Hang on. Finally, it's back up. Starting to panic, y'all. Hang on, I'm gonna switch out. All right. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It was being a brat. So let's see. The devil is alive. The devil is alive. The devil is alive. Let's see. Where is it at? It's getting ready to happen. So I had Court TV pulled up, but I think I might actually do Law and Order because Court TV doesn't come on till the very last second. So, but we can wait and see what we get here. Okay, they're up. So we're waiting. Hey, cool gamer, how are you? You doing okay? This is Court TV. Hey, Mustang Mama. Hey, Sandra Stevens. Y'all come on in. We're getting ready. Hey, Gail. Y'all, we're getting ready to do Harmony's case. Audria Presley. Come on in. Mama 4. I don't see a Mama 4 in here, but somebody said hi to her. Oh, you okay? Is it snowing there? I can't see Mama 4. Oh, there she is. It's snowing in Iowa. Guys, y'all getting snow? That's awesome. Y'all can keep it though. I don't want it. I definitely don't want no snow today. Sunshine Thomas, hello. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. We're getting ready to do Harmony's case. While we're waiting for that to come on, I'm going to give you all a little bit of a glimpse of what happened to Harmony. Y'all know I made a video for the ones that's not aware of what Adam done, just a little bit. I'm going to put a trigger warning up of what the defense or the prosecution opening statement of what Adam did to Harmony. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a preview of what the monster did to baby Harmony. So here we go, y'all.
Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local.
She was a big girl, but she started having these issues with her bladder, with her bowel movements. And you'll hear that when they moved into that vehicle, when they started living there, those accidents got worse and they came more often. She wasn't letting the defendant know when she had to go. She was creating a mess each time. And that rage, the defendant's rage that you'll hear about in this case, grew and grew. And he would hit her, he would strike her each time she had one of those accidents. And that was Harmony's life for 10 days. For 10 days, she was unable to control her own body. For 10 days, she was in fear. She was scared because each time she had one of these accidents, the defendant would hit her. The defendant that you saw 2 days ago, a large man, he would hit this. She was 35 pounds in June of 2019. This again is in December. She was tiny. He would hit her. He would strike her with a fist over something she had no control over. And those accidents were getting worse and they were coming more often. And she was so bruised before her murder that the defendant had to hide her when he went out in public. He would literally take a blanket and cover her up so that she couldn't be seen, and that so no one would know what he had done to her. No one would see those bruises. And that brings us to December 7th of 2019. That day began like any other day for Harmony. They were living in that car. She woke up and she was scared. She was scared because she'd wet herself. She didn't want the defendant to know. She'd wet herself first thing that morning, and she was afraid. And just as she feared what happened, the defendant smelled what she had done. And for that, he hit her. He struck her in the face, and he drove his car. He continued on with his day as if he had done nothing. He struck this little girl in her face, on the side of her head. He continued on as if nothing happened. He drove to the methadone clinic, the clinic that you saw yesterday on The View. And there he and Kayla took turns getting their treatment. You'll hear that Kayla went in first, the defendant stayed in the car, and then the defendant went in. And when the defendant came back to the car, he was hungry. And so he started driving the family's car to the Burger King that you saw yesterday on The View. And as he was pulling out of that parking lot, he smelled something. He smelled that Harmony had another accident. And that rage that had been building inside of him, it was there. Remember, he was still upset about the earlier accident, that first thing in the morning. And he looked back at Harmony as he was driving, and he said, "Really, Harmony? Again?" And he began striking her. As he was driving, holding onto the wheel, he began punching this little girl repeatedly for something she had no control over. He struck her blow after blow after blow to the side of her small head. And he didn't stop. And you'll hear me say that. He didn't stop. He didn't stop with that first barrage of assaults, of strikes to her small head. He continued. And when he pulled up to a light, he continued hitting her, hit after hit to her small head, blow after blow. Now, during this barrage of strikes, Kayla, who was in the passenger seat, seated next to the defendant, seated in front of Harmony, she put a hand up. She tried to block what this defendant was doing to Harmony. She tried to stop him. You'll hear that in that moment, he looked at her as if to say, "You're next." And she was scared. And she looked forward and she put her hand down, and those strikes to Harmony continued. And when he pulled up to another light as he was driving to that Burger King parking lot, he continued striking her. And after that last strike, he looked at Kayla and he said, "I think I really hurt her this time. I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something."
Having a curated selection of toys, treats, and chews that are tailored to your dog's play style, whether they're
Okay. We are having this right here. All right. Hang on, y'all.
You said that Harmony's body was beginning to smell and that it was horrible.
Yes.
What did he do?
When he took her down from the ceiling and brought her into the bathroom to put her in the garbage bags, he asked me to bring the bag to his job.
How did you get there from the Families in Transition shelter to his work?
I walked
And where was the bag at that point?
in the stroller.
Was anyone with you during that walk?
My 2 kids.
Why did you obey the defendant when he told you to bring Harmony's body in that bag to his work?
Because I was scared.
You said you're aware of what he did with her body at his work at the Portland Pie Pizza Company. How are you aware of what he did with it, Kayla?
Because he told me that.
You said that Harmony's body. You said that.
In one development, investigators removed a refrigerator from the apartment building and wrapped the unit in plastic. It was then loaded onto a truck. Orange biohazard labels attached. Other items also marked evidence were loaded up as well.
Hopefully we can find some type of evidence because, Harmony needs justice.
Harmony's mother says the wait for answers about her daughter's fate is agonizing.
Regardless of the outcome, I'm still going to bring her home. I'm still going to fight for justice.
Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, is behind bars on charges that he abused the girl. Her stepmother, Kayla, is out on bail for perjury and other charges related to the girl's disappearance.
Okay, guys, that's just a little overview about the baby. Thank you, Bashley. She said, Daisy, despite what others say, I think you're doing a wonderful job streaming this trial and appreciate you covering Harmony when Harmony wasn't popular. Thank you, Loves to Lurk. Thank you so much. And Dee Dee, I'm so glad Gizmo's doing better. I'm so glad. Thank you. That means so much to me. Hey, Nikita. Good morning, Nikita. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, everybody. We're getting ready for the trial this morning for baby Harmony. We do love her over here. And I want her to see justice. We all want to see justice. I know a lot of people are just coming into the trial. That's why I do make some of them shorts just to give people a little bit of a heads up about what's going on in this trial. Hey, Laura Jean, how are you, honey? So y'all get your breakfast together, get you drinks, get you some coffee, get you some tea, and let's just get started. And let's hope that Adam shows his face today, but I don't know if he will or not. Daisy is doing a great job. We also like to all be together and talk through the trial with our farm family. Thank you, Christine. This is my opinion, but I don't think Adam's going to say where she's at. No, Adam ain't going to ever tell. No, neither is Kayla. Let's see. You're welcome to use any of my photos on my community wall. Okay, thank you. I might do that because I'm next week I'm gonna make all the thumbnails next week, so I may use them. These are your photos I've been using. I've been using your photos already. The ones you sent me a long time ago of Harmony, um, and I've not seen them anywhere else. So those are exclusively your photos that you got of Harmony, and I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate this. And we're just it's sad and it makes you think like what can we do to stop this from happening to other children? But the sad part of it is the world is so big and so full of evil that you know there's nothing really you can do but see something, say something. If you see a child that's acting skittish and you know looks like he's sad or scared of his parents. And I seen that one time I was at the Mexican restaurant out here and this little girl, this family came in and this guy stood by the window where we were sitting with this little like 6 or 7 year old girl, little blonde headed girl, and he was just giving her you know what, and she was just really sad acting. And I don't know what she had done, but they came in and they sat down beside us and I watched them, and that little girl just sit over by herself with her head down. It was his daughter because she looked just like him. And then he come over and started like grilling her. And I sit and watched him, and she kept her head down the whole time, but he was like right in her face, even getting loud. And the wife just trying to kind of told him to calm down. And I went over there and told when I checked out, I told him, I was like, y'all keep an eye out on him. He's being mean to that little girl. And um like she said, I know. but the moms told him to calm down and stuff. I said, I know, but like he was outside the window and just like giving her a hard time. He was the father, you could tell, because she looked just like him. But I just wonder what was really going on there. Now, if I would have seen him, if he would have got 1 second more or one bit more um, mean with her, I was going to call the police. I wasn't going to play because I didn't like the way he was treating her. Like, it was not good. If Adam is convicted of second-degree murder to get a deal or privilege, he may break to locate Harmony. We can only pray. I don't think there's any way to locate her, to be honest with you, after what he's done, for 3 months straight to her body. I think. Good morning, Dana. Good morning. Good morning, Tuesday. Tuesday low. Good morning, Mindy McGee. Everybody's coming on in. Come on in. I just don't think there's anything left of her except for bones. I think that would be the only thing left of her is bones. Come on in, everybody. But you know what? You know what the good thing is about all this? The only thing that's the best thing out when Jesus comes back and returns, all of those bodies that's been done like that, he's going to restore her human body back to itself and take it with him. He's going to restore it. It'll all be back together and it'll go physically back to heaven with her. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Jack. Y'all come on back in. Come on in. We're waiting for the trial to start. Um. So, yeah, I agree, Daisy. And I'm afraid her somethings are spread out. Her remains is spread out. And doubt he'll even know where. He probably don't know where. I do think that Travis guy knows, too. Maybe they'll work something out with that Travis. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you about that, Miss Daisy, but I do hope they can recover something. I do too. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Good morning, Vicky B. I didn't see Vicky B. Good morning. Come on in, everybody. We're waiting for this godforsaken trial to start. Good morning, Debbie Nelson. Good morning. Um, I just don't think that we're ever going to get her back. But guess what? We know what happened. We hope that, you know, that he gets a conviction here and he gets a lifetime sentence. And with them giving him 60 years over that gun charge, and it was the same judge that did it, I believe she's going to sock it to him. And I hope she does. And I hope Kayla gets something out of this because they've got her lying more than once up on the stand. So, but make no mistake, that day, December 7th, whatever time it was that she passed away, I believe that she was taken by God to heaven. And I believe she is being with God in heaven, with her heavenly Father, I believe that Jesus came himself and carried that baby. I think when things like that happen, I just think that maybe Jesus comes himself and takes those babies with him. Like they're in heaven learning how to play music. They're in heaven learning about Jesus and the Lord and everything. And she has no more pain and no more anything. And if Adam, years down the line, decides to become a Christian and get saved, him and Kayla, they will see her again. But that depends on them. If not, Adam's got demons, y'all. Hey, Birdie. Hey, none your business. Come on in. Christian church starts at 10:45. I will be there, and I will ask them again this weekend to pray for you. Aw. Hey, she shaker. Jesus did save her from that. God took her from that. Jesus came and took her from that abusive situation. And me and Yanni was talking the other day, because anybody that knows Yanni is a victim of human trafficking. And I don't care what anybody says, all these haters out here on these YouTube streets say about Yanni. I talked to that woman behind the scenes. Hey, Zigzag. And I can tell when somebody is truthful and when they're not. And she goes into great details. And she is so worried about the rest of the children that they could not find, that her adopted mother adopted over there, that they have no record of what happened. They just disappeared. And she still talks for me. Sometimes I'll just listen to her. She still talks to me for hours about it. There's no way that somebody could make up something like that and be so detailed into every single solitary thing. So for people to be saying that just because they don't like her, hey Miggy, is ridiculous, because I do believe Yanni was a true victim of human trafficking, and I think she went through horrible things. And like she said when those things were happening, it was almost like she left her body, like that she wasn't there during that time. I mean, she was there, but consciously, it was like the Lord shielded her and protected her from that, like that. She said, like, the next day she would feel the pain and stuff, but, you know. Hey, Mindy McGee, Miss Daisy, I'm up very early. It's 6 a.m. here in California. I have been up since 5. Got to get my kids ready for school soon, then get myself ready for work 10 a.m. But I will be listening. Okay, sounds like you got a busy day today, Mindy McGee. Sounds like you got a busy day. I just love Yanni. She's a beautiful person inside and out. Yes, she is, and she's a strong person. And a lot of people don't like that strong personality, because, and I think that's why some of the haters don't like her. But make no mistake, that woman was a victim. She went through all that, because I listened to her behind the scenes for hours. She is a true victim of human trafficking, and it's sad that people would downgrade that and discredit that. But that's just some of, not, I don't want to say all true crime people are evil, but there is a large amount of people that has let the evil take over them. Like, I believe there's generally good people on these YouTube streets, but I think some of them get so wound up around the evil that they don't even realize that they're participating in it. And these cases are so, I don't even know. They're just, you know, Harmony's case, not so bad. People's not bad in this case. Creators, a lot of people didn't cover Harmony's case because of it not being popular. But in my opinion, her case was the most horrific out of these cases. Hey, Broken Wing. But Summer's case is probably the worst. There is some creators that has took Summer's case and made such a mockery, and has spread so much hate and so much vileness on her case, that they've made this case evil. They've just made the case completely and thoroughly evil, to where I don't even know if I want to cover it anymore, because every time I have anything to do with Summer's case, on these YouTube streets. It's just nothing but pure evil. I get attacked and in a horrible way. And anybody that's here with me on the panel gets attacked as well. So I will still be covering Summer's case, but very, very lightly, just enough to keep her out here. Because at this point, there's nothing new in Summer's case, but the same old YouTubers that just hold on to the case and refuse to move on to anything else. You know, hello, Hillbilly Nitro. Come on in. Hello, hello. Come on in, Hillbilly Nitro. Okay, I'm back. Y'all, I did post a video on my beautiful design channel of Target, and it's a regular video. I go through there and just show you all the new Easter decor and just stuff like they got their dollar spot. They got cute little Easter stuff at the dollar spot. Dee Dee said, "Well, Miss Daisy, you know that we love you and thank you for everything you do and have done for Summer." Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. You too, Dee Dee. You too, honey. You too. Um, let's see. Hey, Buster, how are you? Just came in and hit the like button. Got to go back to work. Oh, thank you for coming in and showing some support over here for Little Harmony's case. Wonder why the court hasn't started yet. They start up with hate, and again in Summer's case, and it's going to be like I said the other day. It's going to be that way 10 years down the line. You're going to have that one creator. If they don't find Summer, until they find Summer, and even probably after, if they find Summer, whether alive or deceased, that's one creator is going to be grifting off this case 10 or 12 years down the line because of her bitterness. Hey, Karen A723. And well, not just her, but there is some other creators that just are just grifting completely off this case. Like there's nothing new. But that one creator, she makes up stuff every single night, something new. And her chat stays flooded. And I think a lot of the time is that just people get caught up in it so much. They want to see justice so much that they forget that they are literally participating in some of that evil that goes on over there on guys, sorry about that. My internet is going out, so I'm gonna wait. It's going in and out, in and out, in and out. So hopefully it'll. Hey, Believe, how are you? I hate it when it does this because we pay too much money for internet over here for it to do that. Can you guys hear me? No sound? In my opinion, most people love to feel the hate. They have evil and bitterness inside and they relate to creators who have the same evil. It says a lot about the person who watches. Yes, I agree. And there's people in there that actually says they're Christians. And then, oh, okay, it's back now. Hang on, guys. Let me get it back over. I'm sorry about this, y'all. Let me fix it because we got to get this up because maybe it's already started this morning. Hang on. Let me get back in here. Hang on, y'all. All right, I'm back. Let's bring Court TV up. Let's see if it's started yet. Darn it. If this internet goes out one more time, I'm going to be mad as hell.
Heat sticker. My name is Travis Beach.
Oh, Travis Beach. That's the guy that helped get rid of Harmony.
And Mr. Beach, what city and state do you live in?
I currently live in Concord, New Hampshire.
And how long have you been a New Hampshire resident?
All my life, 39 years.
You're 39 years old?
Yes, sir.
And are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
I work at EB Metals in Bow, New Hampshire.
And what do you do for them?
There's studs, RC. It's construction.
Morning
metal.
Wildfire. More Victory.
And can you tell these jurors what kind of work you've done in your life, in your career?
Carpentry, roofing, tree work, painting. Yeah, that's about it.
Mr. Beach, what was your highest level of education?
I graduated 12th, sir.
You graduated high school?
Yes, sir.
And I want to switch gears just a bit. Back in March of 2020, where were you residing?
Concord State Prison.
Okay. In early March.
I was Manchester, New Hampshire.
Okay. And at some point in March, you were arrested. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Prior to that arrest, do you remember the date of that arrest?
I don't, not off the hand.
Does March 5th sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prior to March 5th of 2020, where were you living?
I was it was Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm not sure the address.
And that's fine. You were in Manchester?
Yes, sir.
And who did you reside with in Manchester?
Barbara Ewell.
This is the guy that
Do
allegedly
you know someone named Brittany
helped
Bedard?
distribute
Yes, sir.
How do
Harmony
you know Miss Bedard?
like bags.
She's my ex-girlfriend.
And during that
county.
period that we're talking about, early March of 2020, was she your girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
And how long at that point had you known Miss Bedard?
Morning, Secretary.
10 years.
Did she reside with you, with Miss Ewell?
No, sir.
Mr. Beach, do you know an individual named Brendan Middleton?
Yes, sir, I do.
And how do you know Mr. Middleton?
Through we were working together at Accurate Tree Service.
How long have you known Mr. Middleton?
About 5 years.
And that's at that point back in March of 2020?
Yes, sir.
How would you describe your relationship with him? Were you friends or something else?
His name is Travis.
I wouldn't say friends. It was more of a
This is the guy that helped him get
co-worker
rid of
at the
Harmony's
time.
body.
Okay. I want to switch gears for just a moment. You mentioned going to state prison
Yes, sir.
on March 5th of 2020. Were you convicted of theft by deception and theft by unlawful taking back in 2019?
That's correct.
Were you also convicted of theft by deception in a 2014 case?
Yes, sir.
How about theft by unlawful taking in a 2016 case?
I believe I was incarcerated at that time.
Okay. Turning to this case, do you know someone named Adam Montgomery?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And how long have you known Mr. Montgomery?
Since he was 17 years old.
17. Would you recognize him if you saw him today?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach this witness?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Beach, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 101.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
recognize the individual depicted in this image?
Yes, sir.
Who do you recognize this to be?
Adam Montgomery.
The same Adam Montgomery you've known since you were 17?
Yes, sir.
And back in early March of 2020, February into March of 2020, had you recently reconnected with Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, sir.
And how did that happen?
I was at the mall in New Hampshire, and I was at the food court, and Adam was there with his girlfriend, and that's how him and I started talking again.
Do you remember his girlfriend's name?
Kayla.
And at some point after that interaction that you had with him at the mall, did he contact you requesting your help with something?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell the jurors what the nature of that communication was?
He asked me if I could rent him a U-Haul, and I said yes.
And do you recall when he contacted you
For the U-Haul?
for the U-Haul?
Later on during the day.
I want to back up for just a moment. Back in March of 2020, did you have a Facebook account?
Yes, I did.
And do you recall what your Facebook account, the name of that Facebook, your name on that Facebook account was?
Travis Beach.
Did you have,
Or
were you friends with the defendant on that Facebook account?
yes, sir.
Morning, MC.
And so when he contacted you and asked you to rent him a U-Haul, what did you do?
I didn't hesitate. He's a friend. I wasn't thinking of anything negative. I was at his apartment. I saw everything packed up. I put one and one together, thought it was two, but it wasn't.
Okay. And let me stop you there, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Middleton. You said you were at his apartment and you saw things packed up.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember where his apartment was?
Union Street, I believe.
And that's here in Manchester?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when you were at his apartment?
2020.
Were you at his apartment with Brittany Bedard, with Miss Bedard that you mentioned?
Yes, sir, I was.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
So, Mr. Bedard, sorry, Mr. Beach, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 55. Do you recognize the individual depicted there?
Adam Montgomery's son.
Thank you. Thank
And,
you so
um,
much,
you
Nikita.
mentioned
Thank you for
Ms.
that
Beach was
super
with you
chat. Thank
during
you
that
so much.
interaction.
Yes, sir.
Coffee for you,
Um,
Daisy. Oh, thank you so much.
Does this
I'm gonna
accurately
my
reflect your
cowbell.
memory of his son that day that you went to the apartment?
I can't
Yes, sir.
find it. Thank
And
you,
can you just read the date
Nikita.
at the bottom of that image?
Sunday, March 1st,
God bless you.
2020 at 6:02 p.m.
So having that in mind,
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Nikita. God bless
does that
you.
refresh your recollection as to the
Thank you for
actual
supporting my
date that you
channel.
went to
Thank
the
you.
apartment on Union Street?
Love
Yes, sir.
you.
Did you have any discussions with the defendant when you went to that apartment street?
We had multiple, yes, sir.
Specifically with respect to the rental of a U-Haul van,
I'm sorry.
specific to the rental of a U-Haul van.
Yes,
what were
sir.
those discussions that you had with the defendant?
We did. What were the discussions?
What did he say to you?
He asked me to rent him a U-Haul. He needed to move stuff, and yeah, that's it.
And you wanted to help, it sounds
Yes,
like.
sir.
Did you help him? Did you in fact help him rent a U-Haul?
Not per se myself. I got somebody to rent them a U-Haul. So in the aspect, yes, sir.
Okay. And I want you to walk us through that. You said you got someone to rent him a U-Haul.
Yes, sir.
Who is that someone that you're referring to?
Brendan Middleton.
And the same Brendan Middleton that at that point you'd known for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
And so this wasn't the same day, this was a separate day. Can you walk us through getting that U-Haul with Brendan Middleton?
I myself didn't have a license at the time. So I asked Brittany to get Brittany Bedard to get the U-Haul, and she couldn't. So we had Brendan Middleton rent the U-Haul because he's the one that had the license at the time.
The day that you got the U-Haul, where were you staying? Where were you sleeping that day?
At the time, at Barbara Yule's house.
Good morning,
At some point
Cliff.
during that period, did you go to the Econo Lodge and stay there?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall how many nights you stayed there?
One night.
Do you know whose name that room was in?
I'm pretty sure it was Brittany Bedard's.
And did the defendant also stay at that hotel with you?
Yes, sir.
Separate room or same room?
Separate room. He was on the first floor and I was on the second floor.
So you're staying at this hotel. At what point do you go and get the U-Haul for the defendant?
It was later on during the night. It was like it was dark. It was dark out, so 8-ish.
And can you tell the jurors who you went with? Who accompanied you to get the U-Haul?
Myself, Brittany Bedard, Brendan Middleton.
Okay. And where did you go to get that U-Haul?
The U-Haul place on South Willow Street here in Manchester, New Hampshire.
South Willow Street.
Yes, sir.
What did you do after getting the U-Haul, Mr. Peach?
There's a gas station right next to the U-Haul place. We stopped there, put gas in it, and then we went back to the Econo Lodge.
When you say we went back to the Econo Lodge,
Myself, Brittany Bedard, and Brendan Middleton.
and what did you do when you returned to the Econo Lodge?
We did drugs at the Econo Lodge.
Yes.
Good morning, Vicky.
Mr. Beach, when you say we did drugs,
Yes,
who is
sir.
the we that you're referring to?
Myself, Brittany Bedard, Adam, and Kayla Montgomery.
And what drugs are you referring to? What kind of drugs?
Cocaine.
Is that crack cocaine?
Yes, sir.
At some point during that time, while you're doing drugs, did you exchange keys?
Yes, sir.
Did you provide him U-Haul keys?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that interaction. Can you tell the jurors where you were when you gave him the keys and what specifically he told you?
Myself and Brittany Bedard gave the keys to Adam Montgomery, which he was staying at the Econo Lodge on the first floor. After that, Adam Montgomery and myself went outside to smoke a cigarette. He was pacing back and forth. He said he effed up, and I asked him what he meant, and all he could say and repeat was he effed up. And I'm not sure.
And you said he repeated that.
Yes, sir.
How many times did he repeat?
4 or 5 times.
When you say act, did he actually say the word?
Yes, sir.
What did he say? He told you.
Am I allowed to say it? I fucked up.
You repeated that
Yes, sir.
multiple
I
times.
apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Did you ask him to clarify?
I did. And he did not.
Did he say anything when you asked him to clarify?
All he kept saying was that I fucked up.
Where was Kayla during that conversation?
Kayla was in the first floor at the Econo Lodge with Brittany.
And I think you said this already, but at that point, when you went out to smoke the cigarette, you'd already given him the U-Haul keys.
Correct.
At any point during your time at that Econo Lodge, did you see the defendant drive the U-Haul?
I did not.
At some point, did you go back to your own room with Miss Bedard?
All right. Yes, sir.
And prior to going back to your own room, had you seen him drive the U-Haul at all?
No, I did not.
Was the sun out when you went back to your own room, or
No, sir. It was still nighttime.
it was nighttime?
Yes, sir.
And do you know what the defendant did with the U-Haul?
I don't.
Did you attempt to get in touch with him the following day about the U-Haul?
No, sir.
Do you think seeing those your Facebook messages would refresh your recollection on that point?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, you
I think it was him that Kayla said helped get rid of Harmony that took the bags off. Like they took several bags.
So, Mr. Beach, I'm
Of
showing
course.
you what's been marked for identification in
Yes,
State's
sir.
Exhibit 139.
Yes, sir.
Will you take a look at the second page of this document and just look up when you're done? So let me ask you this while you're reviewing. Do you recognize what that is?
No, sir.
So at the top of the page, does it say something there?
Media platform businesses record.
Meta Platform Business Records?
Yes. Sorry.
Are you familiar with Meta?
No, sir.
All right, so let's look on. Does it say what the service is there?
Facebook.
Okay. And then halfway down the page, does it say first and last name?
First name Travis. Middle name is blank. Last name is Beach.
Okay. And I want to talk about the specific records.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a moment. So I'm just going to ask that you review page 139, and I'm going to point you right here. If you can start there, and then this is front and back, so you just go through.
Would you like me to read it out loud? Or?
No, just to yourself.
Oh no. Are you sure,
And so I'm
Are
gonna
you
draw
sure,
your
Nikita?
attention to
I'm so sorry.
right here, this message.
I don't know if it. I'm sorry. I don't know why it would do that. Hey, Mustang Mama.
All right.
So having reviewed that, does that refresh your recollection with respect to whether or not you reached out to the defendant about the U-Haul?
I mean, it's right. I don't remember it, but it states right there. So yes.
All right, and I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 140.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just going to ask you to.
There's
read
one
that
child, a
message.
small child that's been adopted out. A boy.
And is that the same message you just read on your?
On the display, yes, sir.
All right. So with respect to these messages,
Oh,
are they
Nikita.
accurate in terms of the messages that you exchanged?
Thank
with the
you so
defendant?
much
Yes,
for
sir.
your support, Nikita.
Your
Love
Honor, I
you so
move
much.
to strike
Thank you, and I'm
the marked
sorry.
clarification as States Exhibit 140 and mark full and published to the jury.
Any objection?
140 is the communication as opposed to the certified records. No objection to 140.
The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit. It may be published.
I'm going to take these back.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask that you hold on to this because we're going to go through it.
Think you know Five Below? You have no idea.
In front of you, States Exhibit 140 up on the screen behind you. And I'm just going to ask that you look back and take a look at what's on the screen, the TV screen behind you. Other than the little red sticker at the bottom, is that the same image that you have in front of you?
Yes, sir.
And so you can refer to the image in front of you, but I'm just going to ask that you identify a few things. Starting with the top message, can you tell us who the sender of that message is? What's the name of the individual? It says next to author.
Travis Beach.
Okay. And that's you.
Kayla said it. Kayla said he helped get rid of Harmony. Yeah,
Can you tell us when that message was sent? And it's right below the author's
she
name.
said that he did.
March 4th, 2020 at 1947.
And do you see where it says UTC?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with Coordinated Universal Time, Mr. Beach?
No, sir.
Fair to say, though, it's not Eastern Standard Time.
Correct.
Okay. And can you tell us what you wrote? The slide immediately, or the message that says body.
Bro, what U-Haul did you drop it off at? Because he just got a text saying the van was supposed to be back at 2, so please let me know. WTF is going on.
And after you sent that message, did you immediately send another message? Can you go to the next where it says body?
ASAP.
So if you can refer to the message below, can you tell us who the author of that message is?
Facebook.
Okay. And is there a specific number attached to that?
Next to Facebook?
Next to Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what that number is? Can you read it for us?
100009007.
That proves he knew where that was a body.
5803.
Okay. And you initially said this was your communication with the defendant, Adam Montgomery. Did that used to have a name? When you made those messages, when you communicated with the defendant, did his Facebook account have a name?
Adams?
Adams.
Yes, sir.
What was the name of his Facebook account?
Adam Montgomery?
Okay. And that's no longer there. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you can go to when that message was sent, just below the author.
Hey, Brown Bear.
And if you can read the date and time of the response.
3/4/2020, 1947.
So if you can go to the actual next
I'm sorry. The stupid internet is going crazy. I'm so sorry. Hang on just a second. Ugh. I am sorry, you all. Hopefully it'll come back here in a minute. I'm about to call them and give them a piece of my mind about this internet. Because this is an important testimony right here, y'all. I don't know if I can put it up on here. There's no way I can pull it up on this one, I don't think. Let me see. Streaming info, private settings. I don't have a share button on here. This thing is so big. They better get my internet back up and going. I'm sorry, guys. Don't leave me. I'm coming back. Let's see if we can get it. It's the out of all day for this internet to act up. It has to be today. I got up early this morning and everything, and my internet is just giving me a hard time, y'all, and I'm so sorry. Because this is an important uh interview. So if I have to go back and just be a little bit behind, we can do that and then catch back up at lunch. Here we go. I'm back. Hang on. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Daggone it. Let me see here.
Message. Is that
All right.
Correct.
There we go. Sorry about that,
All right,
y'all.
now let's go to the body of that message. If you can read that to the jurors.
Please don't message me stuff like this on Facebook again.
Do you know why the defendant didn't want you messaging stuff to him about a U-Haul rental?
No.
And let me back up. You said earlier you didn't know what he was
lying.
using this U-Haul for.
Correct.
Did you ask him?
No, sir.
Why not?
Honestly, I didn't think I had to because I saw all his belongings packed up, and prior during the day he said he was having problems with DCYF, so I kind of figured that he was moving.
And were you aware that he'd just moved into that apartment?
No, sir.
Did you ask Kayla what the U-Haul was for?
I wasn't allowed to talk to Michaela.
Why weren't you allowed to talk to Kayla?
I didn't ask.
Mr. Beach, did you ever meet a child named Harmony Montgomery?
No, sir. No, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Beach. No additional questions for you, sir.
And good morning, Mr. Beach.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jamie Brooks, and I represent Mr. Montgomery. You indicated on direct examination that you reconnected with Adam. I believe you said it was February of 2020.
I didn't say February.
Do you know when it was?
Honestly, no.
But it was at the Mall of New Hampshire?
Correct.
Food court specifically?
Correct.
Fair to say that it was prior to these March events.
Yeah. Yes.
And Kayla was with Adam at the food court?
Correct.
Were any kids with Adam and Kayla at the food court?
They're two sons.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, no additional questions for this witness. I'd ask that he be excused.
All right. Any objection? All right. You may step down. You are excused, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Are you serious? Are you serious? They're just going to let this man walk away? He knows exactly what he's done. This man helped get rid of Harmony. What the hell? What are they doing? What is this court doing? He clearly said body. He clearly was under body. He knows darn well what Adam was doing, and he was in on it. While the whole trial being rushed through. I mean, I can't believe that. Kayla said this guy helped get rid of Harmony's body with Adam. I know they have to prove it, but daggone. Oh, I can't stand people. I'm not talking about the courts. I'm talking about that guy that just walked off that stand, who knows darn well where Harmony is. I know, Gail, but if I know. Who is this? It just makes me mad. I'm sorry. These people get away with lying and
If you would please
climbing
watch your
and
step
doing
on the cords there, and if you could just remain standing when you
bad
get to the
stuff.
podium, please. So I have just a little bit of a tech issue. We're all set. So if you go ahead and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that the testimony that you give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please feel free to have a seat. Ms. Hilbert, as we're being recorded here today, would you please go ahead and state your full name and spell both your first and your last name for the record?
Tara Hilbert, TarahHilbert.
Thank you, Ms. Hilbert. And what town are you living in right now?
Manchester, New Hampshire.
How long have you lived in Manchester?
Almost 8 years.
Okay. And where do you live? What street?
Orange Street.
On Orange Street?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Pretty much the property manager for over there.
Okay. And when you say the property manager, how many buildings do you help manage?
Just for that property, there's 4 buildings on that property. And then there's other properties elsewhere, but
Okay. So do you help manage the other properties elsewhere as well as the 4 there?
if the landlord needs help, yes.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
5 years? 4 years? 5 years?
4 or 5 years. And how far did you go in school?
10th grade.
10th grade. All right. What are some of the other things that you will do for the landlord to help out for those 4 properties or for properties elsewhere? Can you kind of describe what some of your duties are to the jury?
I will help maintenance clean out apartments if they need it. Clean when before tenants moving in, I will completely finish cleaning it. I'll meet with new tenants before moving in, give them keys. If anybody needs any help, have any questions, they usually come to me and I take care of it.
I'm about to say, do they call you, or sometimes they usually even maybe knock on your door?
Yes.
Since you're right there?
Yes.
Right. Do you know an individual by the name of Dennis Cloutier?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know him?
That is our maintenance man.
Big beard?
Yes.
All right. How long have you known him?
8 years.
And with regards to the properties that you talked about, you take care of, is one of those properties 644 Union Street?
Yes.
Mr. Cloutier, do you know whether he has done work there at 644 Union Street?
Yes.
If I could approach, please, Your Honor. So I'd like to go ahead and show you.
So this lady here is the manager of the apartment complex that they kept Harmony's body in. The one where they took the floors out, the refrigerator out. Now, the homeless shelter is where they kept her in the ceiling.
To show you what's marked states 136 and 137.
Then the freezer, and then the apartment.
Ask generally whether or not you recognize those images.
Yes.
What do you recognize them to be?
This is my building that I live in.
Okay.
This is the corner of Orange and Union. and then the other property of Union Street.
All right, I see that's all on 136. And what about 137?
That is my back parking lot.
Okay. Back parking lot for your building. Is it also the back parking lot for 644 Union?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to leave these up here with you for a moment. But I'm also going to project them up on the screen. Specifically looking at Exhibit 136, if you could just look onto the screen for a quick minute, Ms. Hilbert, just to confirm that's the same image.
Yes.
All right. And you went ahead and said that there was, well, could you please point out where 644 Union Street is in this, kind of the intersections?
This is Orange Street.
Mhm.
This is Union.
Okay.
This is 644.
So that's 644. The building that's right on the corner of Orange and Union, is that also one of the ones that you manage? Okay. And what about the building just to the right? If we go, that'd be west on Orange Street there. Yes. Is that also one of the properties that you manage?
That's my building.
That's your building. Okay. With regards to a person by the name of Adam Montgomery, do you know who that is? All right. And who's that?
It was a old tenant of ours.
Could you please point out what was the building that Mr. Montgomery was staying in? That one there? Right. I'd like to switch now to Exhibit 137. I've got that on the screen. I just want to confirm, if you would please, that what you're looking at on the screen matches 137 that's in front of you on the desk.
Yes.
Okay. And from this angle, could you please point out where Orange Street and Union Street are again, that same intersection?
This is Orange Street.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up, and that's Union.
So the back side of that 644 Union Street, which building is that? Okay, the one looks like a porch built off the back.
Well, these are three separate numbers: 640, 642, 644.
Oh, okay. Those units inside those buildings, are they all accessible from the back as well as from the front?
Yes.
Right. And that, could you please point out the parking lot that's used by the people who live in that building?
Right here.
Right there. Okay. And with regards to your building, is that the building on the far left-hand side of the screen, still on this side of Orange?
This one, yes.
That's the one. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hilbert. Please feel free to have a seat. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
With regards to Adam Montgomery, you also know an individual by the name of Kayla Montgomery.
I do.
How did you first meet Adam Montgomery?
I don't know our first interaction. I remember seeing him here and there. And then I feel like it had to do with the kids because I had a child, their children's age.
Mhm.
And it kind of just went from there.
With regards to, you said you had a child the same age as their children's age. How many children did they have that you saw?
At that time?
Yes.
Two.
Did your child and their children play together sometimes? And where would they play?
In the parking lot.
The same one that we see here on Exhibit 137?
More at the parking lot on my side.
Okay.
But yeah,
At the time, Adam Montgomery, what was he doing for work? Do you know?
he was not working at that time that I'm aware of.
Separate from that, did you ever visit him inside his apartment?
No.
Okay. Where would you interact with him?
In the parking lot, my porch, and he was in my house a couple times.
And why was he in your house a couple times?
We were feeding him, Kayla, and the kids.
What time of year was that?
Summertime.
Like a grill out or something?
Yes.
All right. Did he ever say anything to you about having a daughter by the name of Harmony?
He did.
Okay. What did he say about Harmony?
Just that he had a daughter named Harmony and that he hadn't seen her in a couple of years because her mother took her back to Massachusetts.
That's what he told you?
Yes.
And when would this have been that you had this conversation with him? What year?
2020.
2020?
Yep.
All right. Would you have conversations with him also in, let's say, to 2021 as well? With regards to, let me just say this. Did he ever say specifically where Harmony was with her mother?
I want to say it was Lowell.
Okay.
Lowell, Mass.
All right. That's your memory?
Yeah.
And when he was living next door, I'm sorry, not next door, but he was living in Union Street and you were over on Orange Street, right? So it's not technically next door.
To me, it's next door, but yeah.
Okay. All right. With regards to the residents at Union Street during the time period that he was living there, how would you describe those neighbors? Were they average? Were they quiet? Were they loud?
I didn't see them the first 6 months of them living there.
Oh, and by them you mean
Adam and Kayla. Oh, is
okay.
that what we were talking about?
Well, yeah. Let me revise the
Sorry.
question. That's all right. That's all right. That's on me for not asking a clear question. So you didn't see them for the first 6 months. Let me go with that for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. And how would you get into their apartment from this photo that we're looking at here?
Can I stand up?
Yes, if you could.
So their back door is like right there.
Okay. So I see you're kind of pointing to the bottom left of that stair structure on the top right-hand side of the, or top right-hand, let's say, quadrant of the image. Is that right? Would you say that's the top right area of that photo?
To me, it's left, but
Top left. Okay. Top left of the stairs. Okay. But overall, if I looked at the whole photo, would you say it's the top right-hand side of the photo?
yes.
All right. With regards to the noise, was there ever any noise complaints in those buildings
From other tenants, yeah.
from other tenants?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever receive one from Adam Montgomery?
Not that I recall. I think everybody stayed away from him. They just stayed.
Objection. Sustained.
I'll rephrase the
Oh,
question. a
Bella,
little bit.
Bella.
So, with regards to
Bella,
that particular building, did you ever respond to any sort of noise complaints at that building?
No.
Okay. And I mean 644 Union Street, that building?
No.
All right. And let me ask, with regards to Adam Montgomery, did he ever tell you where they were living prior to them living at 644 Union?
Yeah, they told me that they had stayed with.
Sustained. Rephrase the question, please.
Okay. What, if anything, did Adam tell you about the location of where he had been living prior to him coming to be with you?
I knew about the FIT program they were in, and then.
Did he
living
ever
in
say about any other residence he lived in before FIT?
a car?
A car. Thank you. I'd like to ask a few questions with regards to Kayla Montgomery. Did you have conversations or communicate with her as well?
Yes.
And I'm not going to go into the substance of what those conversations were, but what were the ways that you would communicate with each other?
Sometimes through Facebook Messenger, other times on my porch, parking lot.
In April of 2021, at any time, did you take Kayla away from the Union Street apartment?
I did.
Why?
Because Adam had beat her pretty bad.
How did she look when you saw her?
Really bad.
And when you say really bad, can you describe where you saw, I'm sorry, did you see any injuries on her?
I did.
Where did you see those injuries?
Her eyes, her nose, she was covered in blood.
Where did you take her?
To a hotel in Hooksett.
When was the last, did she have anybody with her when you took her to the hotel in Hooksett?
Her two boys and the little girl that she had just had.
The baby? Later on, did the Montgomerys, both Adam Montgomery and Kayla Montgomery and the children, move out of that apartment?
Yeah, they got evicted.
Okay. Were you a part of the clean out that was done on that apartment?
Was not.
Who would have come in to do that clean out?
Dennis.
And when a clean out is done of the apartments, when you manage them and the ones that you've seen, what's the sort of work that gets done on those apartments?
Pretty much just throw everything in trash bags, and I specifically put it on the outside porch, and Dennis will come pick it up with the trailer and take it to the dump.
What about with regards to any of the sort of appliances inside? Are appliances changed?
Yes.
And what's the typical turnaround time for a new renter to come in?
It all depends how damaged the apartment is prior. Sometimes it'll take over a month to fix the damages.
Once the apartment is ready to rent, usually what's the time period between that and when a new tenant would move in?
I'd say a week to 2 weeks.
Okay, so a week to 2 weeks assuming the apartment's okay, that's the turnover time.
Yeah.
Let me just have a moment, please, Your Honor.
Why didn't she call the police when she saw Kayla beat up that bad? And I know she had those babies. She had just had a newborn baby. Why didn't she
Okay, Ms.
call the
Gilbert,
police?
thank you very much. Those are all the questions that I have. I believe defense counsel may have a few.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't either, Dawn. I don't feel sorry for Kayla.
Ms.
I
Hebert,
feel-
you testified about a conversation with Adam where he indicated that Harmony was with her mother and you thought perhaps Lowell.
Yes.
And that conversation came up in the context of him talking about missing her, right? And he sort of asked, well, where is she? And that was his answer.
Yes.
Now, you also talked about seeing Kayla with black eyes.
Yes.
And you're pretty emotional about that, right? Because you and Kayla had become very good friends.
Not just that.
Oh, right, of course. But one of the reasons was that she was quite dear to you.
Yes.
And over the course of the time that she moved in, you didn't really meet him for about 6 months, but then when you met him, you and Kayla became good friends.
Slowly, but yes.
And during that, after Kayla was arrested, you contacted her in jail.
Yep.
And you remained good friends with her.
For about a month, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
She's not lying. She's not lying. Quit trying to make it look like she's lying. I don't think this woman would get up there and lie like that.
You may sit down.
Thank you.
Kayla was beat up,
Any objection?
I believe.
Witness is excused.
But I don't feel sorry for Kayla. Because Kayla sit there and watch
State may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and
At this point,
coverage
the
for
state would
him.
like to call Ms. Jessica Guerin.
There's no sympathy for me from Kayla. I don't care what Adam did to her. She sit back and watch Adam do that to an innocent little 5-year-old precious baby girl. She sit and let that baby sit in her own stool and her own urine for hours and hours and hours. She even testified that the baby had blood on her face from being beat from days before. I don't feel sorry for her at all. I'm sorry, I don't.
You make sure your phone is turned off.
It is.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Guerin, if you would please go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you will give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please feel free to have a seat. And Ms. Guerin, as we're being recorded here today, would you please go ahead and state your full name? Oh, I apologize. Did I leave some photos up?
I don't have no sympathy for Kayla. I'm sorry. She said her phone was turned off.
I'm so sorry.
She,
I thought I
wait,
had it off.
see it right there. This court needs some justice. Justin.
Is it off or in mute?
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's a new phone. I'm so sorry. I thought I had it off all the way.
Well, we will try to make our testimony quick, but we do need to have it in mute, please.
Yep, I'm doing it.
No cell phones allowed. No cell phones allowed.
All right, thank you, Ms. Karen.
So sorry.
That's okay. If you would please go ahead, since we're being recorded here today, would you please state your full name, spell both your first and your last name for the record?
Jessica Guerin, Jessica Guerin.
And Ms. Karen, are you a New Hampshire resident?
I am.
How long have you been living in state?
About 13 years.
Well, 13 years.
I'm just going to I'll ask both of you, please keep your voices up. It's a big room. All the jurors need to be able to hear you.
Ms. Karen, let me ask you, you said you've been living here about 13 years?
Yes.
Okay. With regards to that, what city do you currently reside in?
Manchester.
And how long have you been living in Manchester?
About a year.
How far did you go in school?
I'm still in school.
Okay. What are you studying?
Psychology.
Okay. And where are you studying psychology?
UNH.
UNH. And how much longer do you have to go on your program?
About 3 years.
And let me ask you, what sort of work have you had up until this point?
Guys, I'm sorry. My internet keeps going down this morning. I'm sorry. Hang on just a second, y'all. Let's see if it'll come back up. It's been going down all morning long, and I'm getting real aggravated with it. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can bring it back up. Darn it. I hate that it's doing this, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let me give it just a minute, and it'll... Can you guys hear me? Darn it. Hang on. Shoot. Maybe. Oh, I'm about to call my internet company. Hang on. I don't know who this woman that's testifying is. We may have to go back on break and find out who she was. On break. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay. Hang on just a second. Let me see if my internet. Oh, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad at this company. I did the internet. Let's see. Hang on. Maybe this is. Okay, it's back now, guys. Sorry. Hang on. Okay, guys, let me pull up Court TV again. I'm so sorry that this is happening. I am so mad. Hang on just a second.
1860.
I don't know what she testified. We'll go back and look.
Did we call its next witness?
We could approach.
Are they taking a break, y'all?
Gentlemen, before we see our next witness, this is a good time for the break. It's a little bit earlier than usual, but we'll take our break now, and then we may be able to go through lunch. We have a couple of matters that we have to deal with now. So why don't I give you your mid-morning break now? Don't talk to each other or anybody else. Don't do any independent research. Don't look up anything online, and we will see you hopefully in 15 minutes or so. Like I said, there are a couple of things, so maybe a little longer, but we'll get you back in here as soon as we can. All right. All rise for the jurors, please. Before you, well, can we just, you may be seated.
So while we're doing that, we're going to go back and listen to this last testimony that we missed. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go back on that. Okay, here we go.
Donuts.
All right. You said you've worked in drug and alcohol rehabs. I'd like to ask, did you ever work at a location in a rehab center called Granite State Recovery back in May of 2021?
I did.
And what were your job duties there?
I was a recovery support specialist. So when clients would come in, they were usually pretty emotionally like in the air. So I was the person that kind of helped keep them level headed and stay.
Okay.
I would run groups also.
Did you ever meet, and separate from that, I'd like to ask, did you ever meet an individual by the name of Adam Montgomery?
I did.
All right. And I'd like to go ahead and show you what's been marked Exhibit 101. Do you recognize this person?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And who's that?
Adam Montgomery.
Adam Montgomery, the person that you met in May 2021?
Correct.
You also know an individual by the name of Shane Perkins.
I do.
Okay, and how do you know Shane Perkins?
It was somebody that I dated that was a friend of Adam's.
Was that back during this same time period of 2021?
Correct. It's right when I met Adam.
At the time, where was Shane living?
At one of the facilities.
Okay. And with regards to Adam Montgomery, do you know where he was living back then?
Yeah, same house.
Same house? And where was that house? What city?
Auburn Street. I think it was 241 Auburn Street.
Oh, right here in Manchester.
Correct.
All right. Did you ever have a conversation with the defendant, or generally, did you ever talk with Adam Montgomery about children or his children?
Yeah, we used to have quite a few in-depth conversations.
All right. How many children did he say that he had?
So for the most part, I only knew of the two boys. At one point, he mentioned having a daughter, but it was very quickly and brushed off.
You say very quickly and brushed off. What do you mean by brushed off?
He kind of he just changed the subject as fast as he could.
Do you ever remember having a specific conversation with him about his daughter? And by this, I guess I want to ask, first of all, do you remember where this conversation was, where it took place?
Yeah, actually, it was right at the corner of Union Street and Auburn Street.
Okay.
Dollar Deluxe, I believe. I was sitting outside.
All right. And who were you with when you were outside?
Originally, I was just sitting by myself waiting for Adam.
Okay. And waiting for Adam?
Yep.
Okay. And did he join you?
Yep.
All right. And at some point, were you waiting for anybody else while the two of you were there?
Not really. That was a little muffled. So Shane had been having a really bad day and he was sleeping, and I was messaging back and forth with Adam, waiting for him to come out so I could give him some flowers and a card that I had given. So that way that when Shane woke up, he would have it there.
Oh, okay. And when you were talking with Adam, had you already dropped those things off? Had you already handed those to go in for Shane?
Not quite. He was sitting with me. Like we were just kind of, actually, we sat in my car for a good hour and a half talking.
Okay. And during that conversation, did you talk specifically with him about a daughter by the name of Harmony?
He never specified a name. He had mentioned that he had two boys and a daughter, but he had dropped the daughter off at her mother's in Mass somewhere, and just kind of changed the subject as fast as possible.
You said I want to make sure I got that right. And you said that he told you that he dropped off his daughter at her mother's in Mass, and does that mean Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, yeah.
All right. And then you said he quickly what?
Brushed off the I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but the conversation switched very rapidly.
I can just have a moment, Your Honor. Let me just ask you, Ms. Karen, when was the last time that you talked with Adam Montgomery?
Actually, I was just looking at my messages a couple days ago I think it was like March of 21.
So it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. I don't have any further questions for you. Defense counsel may have a few.
Thank you.
Good morning. I have no questions.
You may sit down.
Wow, that made that woman come to court for that.
State me call its next witness.
You can approach.
Oh, let's see if they're back in court again, guys. I got carried away reading Rita's Devil Dogs thing. Oh, there she is. That's Crystal, Harmony's mom. Crystal showed up, but Adam didn't, did he? Was Shane staying with Adam and Kayla? Sounds like the counselor and Shane were not getting along. And Shane staying with Adam. How would Adam give card and flowers if not? I don't know. I don't know why they're being so laissez-faire with this whole thing. Like, I'd be asking more questions. I mean, if you're going to call somebody into court to be a witness, then, I'd be asking more questions. I don't understand why they're just not really being aggressive in this case. I have no idea who Shane is. I have none whatsoever. Shane was Adam's friend. So evidently, Adam was just going around telling everybody stories that Harmony was with her mom when she wasn't. I have a feeling that Adam will be found guilty, but I want justice completely for her. I want Travis, the guy who helped Adam get rid of the body. I hope that once they find Adam guilty, that he spills the beans on Travis, and I hope they get Kayla too. I hope Travis and Kayla both go to jail because Travis helped get rid of the body, and Kayla let him do those things. Kayla to me is just as bad as Adam. Now this is live right now, so they've not come back from break. But Kayla let Adam if she did not participate herself in that. So those two I want to see go to jail. More Kayla than Travis, but I think Travis helped him get rid of Harmony. I really do. I believe Travis helped him get rid of her. Why wasn't Harmony with her mom instead of her dad? Because the court system gave her to her father. Court system took her and gave her to her father. No, they're not, Christine. They need you as attorney. We need you in this case to get a hold of them, Christine. I don't get it. I don't think the prosecution is very aggressive, in my opinion. I think they did a good job at investigating. I think they did a good job at, well, I take that back because um, they were called several times. Let's not forget that, for giving her black eyes and stuff and never did do anything. So, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if this is a small town. The lawyers are asking non aggressive questions. I know. I would have made, there's Crystal, yo. I would have made Travis sweat. I would have made him spit bullets. Spit out bullets. He would have been pouring of sweat if it was me. I mean, I feel like they needed these people that are guilty. They may run from the court systems on earth, but when that great white judgment comes, they're not going to hide from the great and almighty God, because he saw everything that happened. He knows everything that went down. Hey, Shauna. I had a friend that passed away years ago that was on drugs. And she would always make like hints about that she'd done everything, including murder. Um, she would implicate murder. Like she said, drugs has made me do everything, even murder. And I didn't know what she's talking about. I thought maybe she was talking about where she'd had a abortion. But I often think about that, um, her saying that. Why did she say that? And I think a lot of that stuff, I don't know, it's in the back of my mind. And I always thought it was just because she was probably like 5 months pregnant. Her stomach was showing. And then all of a sudden she wasn't pregnant no more. And I heard that she went to a doctor's house in our town and that he performed an at home abortion on her. I don't know, but I know she had an abortion because the baby was no longer there. Um, so I thought maybe that's what she was talking about, but sometimes I wonder if she wasn't talking about something else. She died of an overdose when she was really young, so I just wonder though. The blame is with Adam. Kayla could have reported it afterwards, but as abusive as Adam was, there was no way Kayla could have stopped him that day. The courts didn't stop his abusive behavior in the past. Well, Kayla covered for him, though. That's the point. Kayla covered for him, and even after she was arrested, she lied to the grand jury to cover for him. He was already in jail. She had no reasons to be scared. She did it because she wanted to. She could have stepped. Let me tell you something. I was in an abusive relationship myself, but make no mistake, I was with a monster, probably worse than Adam. I don't know. They're about as bad, both of them. And make no mistake, if he would have hurt a child in front of me, I would have went to the police. I would not have hid that. I would not have concealed that for months in my house. No. I would have waited till he was gone and I would have called the police and said, "Come get this baby's body. He has killed this baby." But I wouldn't have done it the first time he'd ever put his hands on that littles in front of me. Let me tell you one thing. I stood up to that man, even though he beat the far out of me. There was times I stood up to him, and there is no way I would have stood by and let him hurt a child. There is no way. I'm a tough, pretty cookie, and the guy I used to live with stuck a shotgun in my face, told me he'd blow my head off, right to my face. But I wouldn't have backed down from him, and he was a damn monster. There's no excuse for Kayla not reporting the abuse of Harmony, other than she loved her drugs and she loved her Adam. It's only when he started hitting on her is when she stood up and left him. And I'm just really curious why it hasn't come out about the other children, whether or not he hit on the other children, you know? And I think that they should get Kayla for neglect and abuse of the other children by letting them sit in that car, by taking them around all this stuff, by being exposed to their dead sister in the car with them, in the house with them. She covered for him, but yes, but she could have actually stopped him from beating her that day. Absolutely, especially in a confined space like a car. I too know what it is like because I'm also a survivor of domestics. That's true, Susan. That is true. I don't know. Some women are stronger than others, but I just think she was obsessed with Adam, just like she wrote that letter that she wanted to be with him again. And I think some women get so obsessed with men that they literally give themselves up. Hang on just a second, y'all. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. But yeah, she admitted she sorry about that, guys. It's acting up again. Hopefully, it won't continue being like this. They've not come back from court yet, I don't think. Let's see. There's people in there talking, but they've not actually came back from court today. So let's see. I don't know who that is, but sorry about that, y'all. Oh my goodness. I hope you got out of that situation, Secretarius. Yes, I do too. I need a break from this case, y'all. I want to go out thrifting today. But I want to finish this case too, so I want to go to the Habitats in the Salvation Army today. Actually, I need to take a bunch of stuff and give it to them. Another one who went all out to look good today. Kayla was only concerned when the abuse turned to herself. Kayla watched for weeks and days watching Adam beat this baby, not her child, not her problem, is how she's seen Harmony, just a burden. Yep. I agree with you on that one, Christine. And that's not how it works. That is not how it works. When my stepsons were young and I felt like my husband wasn't doing right by them, I would let him have it. I'd be like, no, this ain't right. We got to do this and that. Like, just little things that I felt like he shouldn't have. Like, we didn't need to leave the boys out because we took the boys everywhere we went. When we went on vacation, the boys went with us. The boys went with us no matter what. Even though their mom had custody, we always made sure that anytime we went on vacations or anything, they went with us. We didn't exclude them at all. We could have, but we never did. They always went. We took them to Pigeon Forge with us. We took them to Cedar Point with us. Anytime we went anywhere, they were there with us because in my book, they were just as important as anyone else. And they're, like I said, they're grown adults right now, but they know that I love them. They know in their heart that I love them. And I think they see me as like a second mom. I was very protective over them too. Still am.
Your Honor, Attorney Smith is still doing her review that you asked her to do.
Okay.
So she has the device. They've had it for a few minutes.
Okay.
They act like they got so much
I
important
just
stuff,
wanted
yet
to
they
be
don't
here
do
so that if a
nothing.
witness comes up and is in, I would get some of you anyway, so that I could
address her. She could be on the stand.
I can stay in. So that's fine. All right. So well, we can stay, Your Honor, for that. You want to go with her whenever she's ready? Okay.
Well, I just alert Attorney Smith that I'll be bringing this back. Is it Giles?
It's Giles, but I will ask her.
That's fine.
I understand where you're coming from, Susan. Some people are stronger and some people are not as strong. I agree on that one. I raised my bonus kids. They did everything with me. Mine did too, Shauna. And still does. Both of my stepsons came out and his wife come out looking for Darla that day. We all were up in the mountains looking for Darla. My husband said, "Should we put her out in the pasture?" I said, "We should wait a little bit till she gets a little bit bigger and put her out in the pasture. Because if she runs off again, she's a wild, wild one. Darla is. She's cute, but she's wild." I seen Whiskey trying to mount Daisy's baby the other day. He was trying to mount Daisy's baby. Daisy's baby's a male. It was funny. I looked up on the hill and I saw him trying to top him. Oh my Lord. Darla's okay, but she's still wild. And we're just afraid right now to put her out in the pasture that she'll try to run through that electrical fence. She needs to get used to the electric fence before we try to. Right now, she's still small and just really worried that she'll run through that electrical fence and run off again. That's what the fear is. We just need her to get a little bit bigger to where she can hit that electric fence and just kind of zap her to where she won't go through the electric fence. Y'all know we took hell trying to find her. The bigger she gets, the harder it'll be for her to go through that brush, too. She's fast as lightning. I hope Daisy has a little girl this year. I hope she has a little heifer. I pray she does anyway, but I don't think she will. I think she'll have another male because they say the bull depends on it. But I'm thinking about getting her artificially inseminated, and if you get them artificially inseminated after this year, you can pick the gender. You can pick to have heifers. Choose to have heifers. Miss Daisy, you get wild ones because God knows that you will love them anyway. Oh, thank you, Sunshine. Oh, there's Crystal. I don't see how Crystal can stand to sit through trial knowing what he did to that baby. But she showed up. Crystal showed up. Why does Crystal have to be there? But I mean, she don't have to, but
So I'll do it at lunch.
she's there for her daughter. But she could have been there before.
But you haven't marked
Oh,
it yet.
who's that? Am I in jail?
Hold on to it until lunch.
Today,
Uh-oh.
Brian will lose every just.
Oh, is that Kayla again?
If you would just speak to her about that.
Yes, ma'am.
That Kayla? Who is that? She's got an attitude. Look at those crossed arms. She looks like she's got a bad
In
attitude.
regards to today, it's expected.
Look at her arms crossed. Wonder who that is. I'd make her uncross those arms. She's got an attitude like she don't want to be there. Look at her. That's a defense mechanism. She sure does have an attitude. I wonder if they're making her come in there. Look at her. Hey, inequality. How are you? Hostile witness. There you go. Walking in with her arms crossed like that ain't good sign. I'm surprised the judge didn't comment on it. I know. Oh, she's pissed off, y'all. Look at that. She's red. She's shaking. What the hell is going on with her? Look at her. What's going on, y'all? Who is that? She might be arrested with that attitude. Something's going on. She acting like she's mad. Who is she? She needs to raise her hand to swear to tell the truth. Exactly. Hey, Cassie. She'd be mean mugging the court. I know. Why ain't they showing it? They're like, quit, show her. Court TV, show her. Is that Adam's bio mom, you think? Maybe? Whoever she is, she's pissed off for some reason. Good morning, Cassie. The only one that should come in there with that kind of attitude is Crystal. She definitely doesn't want to be there. Well, guess what? We all don't want to do things, but we have to do them sometimes, whether we like it or not. It's a part of life. So, I'm just curious of who it is. I've been in a courtroom in Michigan and watched the judge tell some lady that had a hearing that day to go home and get dressed properly for court, then come back. Ooh, I don't want to mess with that judge. No, ma'am. Nope. There's something going on. Why would that woman act like that? Come in with your arms crossed with the law behind you. I ordered 2 cakes. Uh, oh, that's cute. Uh, Crazy, you all, crazy. This case is crazy. That judge needs to step up and put some discipline on on these people. She's letting too many people run the show. She needs to step up and say, "Hey, I run the show here, not you." They wouldn't want me as a judge. I'll just tell you that. They would not want me as a judge. I would not be a good judge. I'd be a good judge. Yes, I would. I'd be a good one, all right. I'd crack a whip down on these people, especially Adam Montgomery. I'd make his life miserable during this court. I would make his life miserable. I'd make him turn around and look at every one of the people in that courtroom right in the eyes. They wouldn't want me to be a judge.
Clear the courtroom for a moment. I'm going to ask everyone to go out so I can make an inquiry. I will ask for the cameras to be turned off.
What?
Cameras to be turned off.
Oh, what's going on? What is going on, y'all?
The court monitor, we're going to place this under.
We're going to arrest that woman. You watch and mark my word. If it's Adam's mother, this explains his attitude. Exactly.
I want no audio or video on right now.
Oh, she's crying.
Okay.
It is?
Defense team can remain present. This is going to be under seal. And
They still got the audio on. Oh, they turned it off. Something's going on. I bet that is Adam's mom. Something is going on. Something not good. I bet that's Adam's mom throwing a temper tantrum. Sorry. Darn it. They had to get rid of the good stuff. I bet it is, though. I bet it's Adam's mom. It has to be. She's mad because she got the wrong bra size. Something's going on for her to be that upset. Like, even Kayla wasn't that upset. That has to be Adam's mom. The judge that oversaw Daryl Brooks's case was one of the best I have ever seen. She didn't take any BS from anyone. Exactly. I mean, hell no. You know what? Before it's over with, I think they're going to end up having like shielded judge courtrooms where they can't, like, you see what happened to that one judge. That guy leaped over the podium and got that judge. Uh, uh, I think they're going to have it fixed to where you can't even get near the judge after all that happened. People they don't care anymore. They there's no respect for law. There's no respect for law enforcement anymore. They just think they can do whatever they want. I mean, all respect has been lost. And I don't know. It should go back to the old school days where, I mean, don't take no crap. You don't want to testify? Well, okay. You can go to jail for 90 days for contempt of court. Sorry, but not sorry. And if that is Adam's mom that's acting like that, then we see exactly why Adam acts the way he does. Because of her, not because of the Adam's dad side of the family. Because you saw that Adam's uncle there was the one who stood up for Harmony. It was his dad's side of the family, his dad's brother and grandmother that, maybe that was Adam's grandmother. I don't know who that was. Dolly, we need you. We need Dolly to be there today. Miss Daisy, that lady looked too young to be Adam's mom. She looked like she was Kayla's age. She did, but I wonder who she is. Throwing a fit like that. That's the problem. They baby these people too much. And I ain't trying to be mean, y'all, but come on. Could be. Hang on, y'all. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sitting here yapping away. I don't know. I just think they let people away with too much. The good people, they go to jail. If somebody like me did something like that, I'd end up under the jail. But people like that, they get away with it. I would tell her to suck it up, Buttercup. You're here for Harmony. Exactly. Hey, Michelle, have y'all heard about the 5-year-old Gerald Taylor being unalived by the father's mom, but she won't tell where she put him? Oh, no, I've not heard about it. Didn't Adam have another uncle and his wife living in mom's house? I think Adam's brother lived on had a brother named Michael. Well, look what the Ronald 2024 came in. What's up, Ronald? You being good today? Have you been being good, Ronald? Has your mommy been being good? I heard your mommy was talking about me last night. Ronald, I heard your mommy was talking about the cow over here on the farm. Let's see. They found his body finally. Oh, they found it. Oh, my Lord. Buddy, I'll tell you what, these women that would hurt their own children like that, I don't get it. I don't. Hey, Fonda Cheese Man. So I wonder if they finally got this woman to settle down. I don't care how many sniffles and snots she had. She'd be testifying. I'm sorry. Christine's got her feathers rattled in here. Her feathers are rattled up. Huh. I wonder if she's throwing a fit still. I wish they put the cameras on her butt. We need a little bit of excitement in this boring court case because they ain't doing nothing. The judge asking the woman questions. Uh,
It was important for us to take up some additional matters. We're now ready to resume testimony. Attorney Agati, whenever you are ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Giles, would you please stand? And please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you will give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please feel free to have a seat. Ms. Giles, as we are being recorded here today, would you please state your full name and spell your first and your last name for the record?
Nicole Marie Giles, Nicolegales.
And Ms. Giles, how far did you go in school?
11th grade.
11th grade. I know that you've got some difficulties with regards to being here today. I just want to thank you on behalf of everyone here in the courthouse for being able to testify for us. I'd like to ask, at one point in January to July of 2020, were you living at 177 Lake Avenue, the Families in Transition or FIT shelter in Manchester?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your room number that you were staying in?
I think 8.
8. Okay.
I believe.
While you were there, did you meet any individual by the name of Adam Montgomery?
Yes.
Okay. And where was Adam Montgomery living in the building when you were there?
Room 1.
Room 1. And who was he living with?
Kayla, Declan, and Seamus.
Okay. And Declan and Seamus, were those his children?
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Do you know where he was working at the time? Did he ever tell you where he was working?
Yes.
Where did he say he was working?
Portland Pie.
Did you ever visit him down there?
Yes.
The rooms in your room, room 8, and their room, room 1, could you describe those rooms for the jury who may not have seen them? What do those rooms look like?
They're like bunk beds. I know it's more or less like a hotel room, but you just have 2 bunk beds in there. You have your own bathroom, and it's shared living space.
Are you allowed to change the furniture while you're living there?
They ask you not to.
And what about the orientation of the furniture, where it is in the room?
You have 1 bed on one side of the room, 1 bed on the other side of the room. There's a door in the like when you walk in. Then you have a window that has bars on it, so kids don't fall out, and a bathroom with a tub and toilet and sink.
Okay. How often did you talk with Adam Montgomery or Kayla Montgomery? How often?
Daily.
Daily?
Yep.
During your time together, while you were staying in room 8 and they were staying in room 1, did you ever see Kayla Montgomery with
So sorry about that, you all. I am so sorry. I'm getting aggravated at this internet. I'm so freaking mad and aggravated. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Where is this court TV? Hang on. Looks like they've had another something happen. I don't know. They're talking, so thank goodness. They're just talking now, y'all. So hopefully. This internet's getting on my nerves. So maybe we ain't missed a lot. It's POing me, y'all. It's POing me. Usually it don't act like this in the mornings. I don't understand why it's being a brat this morning. But it's being a brat. Hang on just a second. This woman must still be throwing a fit.
On.
Thank you, Ms. Giles. I apologize for the interruption. I'd like to ask you, could you describe what you saw in Kayla? You said there were bruises in different parts of her body. Could you describe what you saw? What color were the bruises?
Sometimes purple, sometimes yellow. Um, Depends on how soon I seen them.
And what were the size of those bruises that you saw?
Some were small, like fingerprints. Others were like this.
God bless you. How often did you see them on her?
Pretty often.
And pretty often, how often is that? I don't want to put words in your mouth. So,
There was like a new one pretty much every day.
okay. Did the Montgomerys move out of the fit shelter?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do anything to help them in that move?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I helped them move out with their belongings.
And how did you help them move out?
I helped them take their stuff from their room. I put it in my vehicle and I brought them to their apartment.
Okay, I see. So you had a vehicle. You were helping with your vehicle to move things over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where did they move to?
On the corner of Orange and Union. I don't remember the exact address.
Did you stay friendly with them after the move?
Yes.
Did you ever visit them in their apartment at that new building?
Yes.
Could you describe for the jury what the inside of that apartment looked like?
It was kind of cluttered, a little messy. There was cockroaches. It was only a one bedroom. There was holes in the walls, ceiling. There was one time I went there and like I don't know, it looked like the living room was torn apart and half the walls. The bathroom.
Let me ask you. You said living room was torn apart, half the walls. Let me ask about a couple of specifics, if I can. What about the light fixtures? Did you ever notice anything about the light fixtures there?
Yeah, they were hanging from the ceiling. Okay. They weren't like secured. I When he first moved in, he had thought that it was one color and now it's a different color, and then he assumed the owners were spying on him, listening to his conversations.
Did Adam Montgomery ever talk to you about any plumbing issues at that new building?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said that the tub had backed up, and because I had asked, I went in to use the bathroom and the tub was dirty, and I asked what happened, and he said that he was waiting for the landlord to call because the plumbing backed up.
So what did you suggest to him?
I didn't really suggest anything.
Separate from time there at that location, are you aware whether or not Adam and Kayla were ever over at the Econo Lodge staying there while they still had the Union Street apartment?
Yes.
And are you aware what time of year that would have happened? Spring, winter still, I should say, or spring or summer or fall?
I want to say it was winter because it was like right after tax season.
Right after tax season?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a moment, please, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sorry. I knew that was coming. When you were interacting and talking with Adam Montgomery, what behavior, if any, did you ever see about him believing that somebody was recording him or listening to him?
He actually thought that quite often.
And did you see him do anything as a result of this? Any actions that he would take?
He was just like, I don't know, he would ask if I thought it was true, or like, look, the number 5 bus keeps going by. They go by like 5 times. I was just going by the shelter. I'm like, that's the route, I believe. I think it was a 5 or 6. One of those two. Not exactly sure. But it drives straight down Lake Ave to go downtown, and he just thought it was following him. And then, the whole light fixture thing, I don't know. He's just didn't make sense half the time. So I didn't listen to him half the time.
At any point when you described before that you had seen these bruises on Kayla Montgomery, at any point did you offer for her to get her out of that relationship?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did she accept your offer back then?
Not really.
Okay.
Not exactly. She was afraid.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't have any further questions for you. I believe.
Man, that man is tall. They done showed her face, so I don't know why they're not showing her face now. I mean, she throwed a fit over that? That don't make a bit of sense. At all. None whatsoever. For her to throw a fit like that, it doesn't make sense. That man is a tall man. Look at his legs go all the way to the top of that podium. He's about probably 6 foot something. Adam was a monster. Even the lady that took him and Kayla to the methadone clinic he twisted her hand to take her phone. Did you all see that yesterday? Yeah, we seen that. There's also an interview of her I'm going to show you all. 6'5". That's tall. That is tall. But there's actually an interview that she did after she testified, and she said that he looked like Charles Manson with those wild eyes coming at her. She should have called the police and had him arrested for twisting her hand like that. Is what she should have did, but I don't know if she didn't do it because of the kids or what. I don't, but them kids was seeing all this. Those little boys. One thing we can say, Harmony did save her brothers and sisters. Hopefully, Kayla will never get them back.
Ms. Giles, I apologize. I just have one other question. I'd asked you before about the bruises that you saw at Fit, and I just want to ask you, what did Kayla say caused those bruises that you saw at Fit?
Originally, she would say she fell, or Seamus threw a toy. Declan hit her with a bottle.
Okay. Did she ever say anything about Adam causing those bruises?
Not till we were alone.
I'm sorry?
Not until we were alone.
And what did she say when you were alone?
She would say that Adam was doing it, and she's afraid, and she couldn't. She needs to get out of there, but she's afraid to leave.
Thank you very much, Ms. Giles. Your Honor, I understand that limiting instruction is appropriate. We would ask it be given at this time.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the questioning that you just heard about what did Kayla say, the responses to that question can only be used not for the purpose of the truth of what Kayla said, but to determine the credibility of that witness. Okay, so the prior consistent statements can be used only for the determining the credibility of the witness when the witness's credibility has been attacked. Okay, so not for the truth, but for assessing credibility. All right.
It is still morning. Good morning, Miss Giles.
Good morning.
My name is Jamie Brooks, and I represent Adam Montgomery. I'll be asking you a few questions as well. I just want to begin by clarifying your testimony today.
Mhm.
You are saying that when you were at the shelter at FIT in January and February of 2020,
Mhm.
you observed bruises on Kayla Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
When you talked to her in private, she said that those bruises you observed were from Adam.
Yes, sir.
Miss Giles, do you recall being interviewed by a Detective Dunleavy?
Yep.
This interview by Detective Dunleavy was in June of 2022.
Yes.
1.5 years ago, actually more than 1.5 years ago.
Mhm.
And I apologize. We're making a record, so we do need to have like a kind of like a yes or no as opposed to an mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you so much. This interview conducted by Detective Dunleavy in June of 2022 was at the police department.
Okay. I don't remember.
You do not remember where it was?
No, he's come to my house a couple of times. He came to, my house a couple of times. And I know I did go to the police station once, I believe. I don't remember when.
Do you remember there being an interview specifically that was recorded?
Sure, yeah. It was at when we were at the police station. I think he did one at my kitchen table twice, or something like that.
Okay. What I'm wanting to focus on is the interview that took place at the police department.
Okay.
And you do recall having an interview at the police department?
Yeah, I don't remember what his questions or anything like that.
You don't remember what it was about?
I know what it was about. It was about Adam, but I don't remember all the questions. It was over a year ago. I'm lucky if I remember what I had for dinner last night.
This interview was conducted by not only Detective Dunleavy, but also Detective Rayhill. Do you remember that?
There was some other guy in there. I don't know who it was.
And when you were there for this interview, you knew that it was about Harmony Montgomery.
Yes.
And you wanted to do everything you could to help, right?
Right.
You knew that it was being recorded, right?
Yes.
You knew that Adam had already been arrested at this point for second-degree assault.
I believe so, yeah.
Harmony's disappearance was already in the media at this point.
Okay.
By okay, do you mean yes?
I don't pay attention to the news. I don't have cable.
Attitude, attitude, attitude.
But you do recall that this interview was regarding Harmony Montgomery.
Yes.
And the police were asking you questions.
Right.
You wanted to answer those questions correctly.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
Yes.
You wanted to tell them everything that you knew.
I didn't know nothing.
The police asked you about the time you spent with Adam and Kayla at the fit shelter, correct?
Yes.
And specifically, the police asked you during this June 9th, 2022 recorded interview whether you were aware of any domestic violence between Adam and Kayla, correct?
Yes. And I said no.
You said that Kayla on occasion referred to Adam as a dick,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
But you did not state that you had observed at any point any bruises on Kayla Montgomery.
Right.
You did not tell the police that Kayla had confided in you about any domestic violence.
Right.
You did not tell the police that Kayla was in any way scared of Adam.
Right.
And this was, again, an interview where you knew what the subject was about and you wanted to do everything you could to help the police.
Okay.
By okay, you mean yes?
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, Ms. Giles.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Giles, about those questions you were just asked, you didn't say anything about the domestic violence, about the abuse that you saw on Kayla in June of 2022. Do you recall Detective Rahal coming to meet with you in January of this year to talk about this? I'm sorry?
Yes, in my kitchen.
In your kitchen?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sorry.
Overruled.
Thank you. So, Ms. Giles, with regards to that conversation, you were just asked a moment ago about why you didn't say anything about domestic violence with Kayla back in June of 2022. What changed? What was different between June of 2022 versus when you talked to police in January of 2024?
Just like flashbacks and memories of different things and demeanors and situations.
When you were speaking with police in June of 2022, did you want to have anything to do with the investigation?
No, I did not.
And in January of 2024, Why did you sit down with police and talk with them then and share more information?
Because I'm a mother and I feel for Harmony's family.
And your testimony here today about what you saw, what you experienced, and what you heard people say with regards to that, is that the truth, just as you've taken an oath to tell today?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, Ron.
Ms. Childs, the interview that you participated in June of 2022 was voluntary, correct?
Yes, I think. I don't remember. To be honest, I honestly don't remember. I know I was called in.
You were subpoenaed to appear here today, correct?
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm sorry, but you were not subpoenaed to appear at the police station, correct?
No.
In fact, when you were advised, or when you arrived, you were advised that this was voluntary. You did not have to speak to the police.
I guess I don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But you were not in any way told that you had to speak with the police.
I don't think so.
And again, this was not a short interview. You covered a
was there
lot
for
of
about an
territory
hour.
during that interview, correct?
I think I was there for about an hour, yeah.
If I were to, just about an hour, you said, right?
I think.
So if you were told that the interview began at, say, for example, 10:24 and ended at 11:20, that'd be about an hour, right?
Yes.
And you were there voluntarily that time.
Yeah.
And you were there to help.
Do what I could and didn't think I'd be here risking my own life.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, we'd ask for the witness to be excused, please, so she may go.
Ma'am, you may be excused. You're not to take pictures on the way out.
That was dramatic. Very dramatic. That was dramatic.
State may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Michael Doe to the stand. Please go to the witness stand. Please watch your step on the cords there. And remain standing when you get there, sir. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that the testimony you give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please feel free to have a seat. Dope, as we're being recorded here today, would you please go ahead and state your full name and spell both your first and your last name for the record?
Michael Dobe, Michaeldobe.
And Mr. Dobe, what town do you live in?
Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Okay. How long have you been living there?
10, 11 years.
Okay. And how far did you go in school?
I have an associate's degree.
In what field?
Criminal justice.
And with regards to that associate's degree in criminal justice, can I ask a little bit about your work history? What are some of the kind of different jobs that you've had in your life?
Yep. So I've worked about 15 years in the security and asset protection field.
And what are the different businesses that you did security and asset protection for?
I did security at the Mall of New Hampshire, and then I did asset protection for Kmart, Rite Aid, Walmart, and Macy's.
In Macy's. Are you still working at Macy's now?
I am not.
Okay. Where do you work now?
I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs.
And what do you do for them?
I was hired as a police officer, but I'm currently working in dispatch until I can go to the police academy.
And when is that scheduled to be?
April.
In April of this year?
Correct.
Okay. You said that before you were working at Walmart. What are the different Walmarts that you've worked in?
I was mainly out of the Manchester, New Hampshire store. I would assist in other stores, like just during inventory.
And the Manchester, New Hampshire store, just for jurors who may not be familiar, where is that Walmart in Manchester?
725 Gold Street.
Okay. Now, if we were going to leave here at the courthouse, what would be the way that you would take to get down to where that is, where Gold Street is?
Me personally, I would just go up Central Street to Beach, take a right onto Beach to South Willow, and then South Willow to Gold Street, and then the Walmart's right there.
How long did you work at that particular Walmart?
Approximately 2 years.
And what are the other Walmarts that you've worked at?
There was a few. Keene, Hooksett, and a couple of other ones, but I don't remember the towns.
In regards to the Manchester one, was there anybody else that was working security and asset protection with you at that location?
Yeah, there was a few of us.
And how were your shifts divided up? What shifts would you work most of the time?
We were just based off of the needs of the business, so it wasn't anything in particular. Sometimes I would open, sometimes I would close, and same with the others.
Are you familiar with the layout of the store? I would assume so, but I don't want to make an assumption.
I am.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. It's very frustrating. The internet is acting horrible today. So, hang on. Maybe, let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just getting really aggravated today over this.
%100%
Okay.
The ID is stricken, it's entered as a full exhibit. And it may be published.
I would like to ask you, with regards to this particular series of, or this areas of video footage, how are the video footage itself? Is there a notation that's made or somewhere in the recording about the time that the video was captured? Is that in the footage, or is there another way that that's recorded on this drive?
Some camera angles might have it on the screen when you're watching it. Otherwise, it would be on the document itself, like the saved profile.
Saved profile?
Yeah.
Mr. Doe, what I'm going to do now is I'd like to have us take a look at the footage that you have, that you were able to provide. And just give me a brief moment. I'm going to direct your attention to the screen. Hopefully we'll have the footage over there. Mr. Doe, with regards to these particular drive and its contents, I'd like to go ahead and show you the index of the files themselves. Excuse me. Apologize. With regards to that, is that accurate in terms of your listing of all of the files that are available on this particular drive?
Yes,
And you've reviewed each one of those videos, correct?
I have.
And they're accurate for what was provided.
Correct.
With regards to that, I know they're rather hard to see, so if you'll excuse me for a second, I'm going to bring them back over on my screen. And I would like to have you kind of take us through the store.
Okay.
And I'd like to watch different areas of this video footage. We may not watch every single one, but it's my understanding you testified these do cover, for the purposes of today's hearing, all of the relevant video times of these three people being in the store.
That's correct.
So I'd like to start with the file that is entitled Entrance General Merchandise. And with regards to that, I see that there's a title on the slide, General Merchandise, that specifically goes to 1355.14. Is that a timestamp, sir?
Yes.
So the timestamp is recorded right on the file itself.
Correct.
And also, I should ask, with regards to these videos, is any audio recorded here, or is it just video?
Just video.
Just video. Excuse me just a second, sir. I apologize for the delay. So this is the entrance general merchandise video.
That's correct.
And with regards to this, the people that you followed for this Eco ATM transaction, pardon me, that had been done on December 30th of 2021, if you would please point out the three as they come through the store.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll pause it.
These are the three individuals.
So could you describe the very first person that's walking in that group, and I'll use the pointer to point to that individual.
Yep, it's a female wearing either a dark blue or a black jacket. And then there is another female behind her wearing a long sleeve blue shirt. And then a male wearing a black jacket and a tan hat.
Stopping the video in Again, a few seconds into this, we're still seeing the same three individuals.
That's correct.
So this would be those three coming into the store.
That is correct.
Is there another camera just a little bit deeper from that very exterior door that also covers people coming through kind of a vestibule area?
Yes.
And is that one entitled one of your PTZ? What does that stand for again?
Pan, tilt, zoom.
Pan, tilt, zoom. Thank you. Pan, tilt, zoom. Would camera number 17 be able to show us more footage of that doorway?
Yes.
Playing that file. 1355 36.
And then
Yep, I'm going to pause it right there. Go ahead, sir.
these are the three individuals that we had saw in the previous video.
That area that we see them walk off the screen, where is that area leading to?
That's the front of the store by the registers, and they're heading towards the service desk.
I'd like to go to the service desk video that you provided, and I'm referring to track service desk overview monitor, again, on 12/30 of 2021 from 13:55:50 through 14:29. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this video here for a brief second. Generally, what part of the store is this?
This is the front end of the store, and this is the service desk area.
And so what do I see? Kind of at the very top of our screen here, line of kind of blue. Are those checkout aisles that I'm seeing?
Yep, those are the front end registers.
And can you please point out where the Eco ATM machine is to recycle electronics? Where's that? It's right here. There. So you're pointing to the green device on the left-hand side of the screen up against a blue wall. Is that a good, accurate description?
That's correct.
What I'd like to do is go ahead and keep playing this video for a moment, and then have you tell us when you see those same three people come back. Yes, sir. You have the camera.
These are the three right here.
Hold on a second. Right there.
Correct.
Could you please point out where those three are again? First of all, we'll start with the woman that was in the dark colored jacket from before.
Yep.
Okay. And the woman in the light blue colored sweatshirt. And the gentleman with the darker sweatshirt and the tan hat. I'm going to let this play for just a minute, and I'd like to ask you a couple of questions while it's playing. So
Okay.
I apologize, but all of our attention is going to be on the screen right now as we're watching this. The woman in the light blue sweatshirt, what color bag does she have?
It appears pink.
And the gentleman with the dark sweatshirt, may have just pulled up his pants there, with the tan colored hat, what color shoes generally?
Looks black.
Now, when you have used this device yourself, this Eco ATM, how long did it take for you to plug in the device and get an estimate about what you might be able to get for that device?
Just for the estimate, I would say it was approximately 5 minutes.
I'm just going to back it up a little bit. I apologize. I think I was talking over something. So do we still see the same two females that came in using the device?
That is correct.
And the gentleman, can we see that gentleman in the tan hat here?
No.
Can we see the gentleman in the tan hat now?
Yes.
Where is he?
He's back at the Eco ATM machine behind the female with the black jacket.
Go ahead and press play. Could you please stand up again for a moment and show us where he is?
Yep.
As we're watching the three of them at the machine, Mr. Dope, this particular camera, does this have the ability to zoom in, pan, or tilt, or is this just a fixed camera?
This is just a fixed camera.
So the video image that we see is, this is the angle we get. We can't zoom in anymore.
That's correct.
Gentleman in the tan hat, you still see him in this at this point in the recording?
I do.
Point out where he is, please. Thank you. Bill, if I can ask you, with regards to the Eco ATM, again, as we're continuing to watch the footage together, with regards to that device, do you know whether or not that device records photographs of the individuals who are using the device?
It does.
And the individual with the light blue colored sweatshirt, from this angle here, can you see whether or not she's leaning on the ATM?
It does appear that she is, yes.
And the other woman in the dark colored jacket, is she still standing next to her?
She is.
It's my understanding you've seen this video a couple different times, correct, Mr. Doe?
That's correct.
And this, standing at this particular device, this goes on for some time, is that right?
It does.
At some point, Mr. Doe, as we're watching along here, are we going to witness the gentleman in the tan hat, with the dark colored sweatshirt, and the possibly black shoes, or at least dark colored shoes? Are we going to see him walk away from the two women that are using the device?
That's correct.
And when he comes back, does he have on all of the exact same clothing, or has it changed at all?
It's changed. He had removed his jacket and he's wearing a staff t-shirt.
So, and during that time period, do you see the two women leave the Eco ATM while he's gone and then coming back changed?
I don't recall if it's during that, but I do recall one of the females leaving with the male at some point.
In your review of this section of the video, does the gentleman in the tan hat ever stand up to the screen, or is he behind the ladies like he is now?
He's either behind the ladies or standing to the side of the machine.
Which side of the machine?
The side closest to the registers. So from this angle, it'd be the right-hand side.
Right hand side, top of the screen.
Correct.
We're now about 9 minutes and 40 seconds into this particular camera footage. Can you still see the same three individuals?
I can.
Do you know how many items were recycled during this transaction?
I don't.
And I should ask specifically, do you know any of the individual items that were recycled during this transaction?
I just know of a phone, but I'm not sure of a particular phone.
So not a particular number or make or model or anything like that?
That's
just
correct.
A phone?
Correct.
All right, thank you. The gentleman in the tan hat, where is he now at this point in the video?
He's still on the side of the Eco ATM machine closest to the service desk, so that would be the left-hand side of the machine.
Mr. Dove, if I could direct your attention over to the right-hand lower side of the screen as we're still watching what's unfolding. Can you tell us how long this video track is, please?
It's cut off a little bit, but I believe it's a little over 33 minutes.
33 minutes long.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to move forward a little bit in time. I know you stated at one time that this individual is going to change his clothing, the gentleman in the tan hat.
That's correct.
Characterization, I think he testified he took off his jacket.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me
Objection is sustained.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dove, I believe that, I apologize, you did testify at one point that he's going to take off his jacket, correct?
That's correct.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to move forward in time to a moment to when we see that, if we could, please.
Okay.
So I apologize. My eyes are not what they used to be for me to be able to see. Are we about 2 minutes or so? Oh, hold on a moment. At this point, is the gentleman in the tan hat walking away?
He is.
Okay. And what about the young lady who was wearing the dark jacket?
Yes, she's following him.
It's following. Okay. Now, I believe you said that you have other cameras in the store that cover different sections of the store. Is that right?
That's correct.
With regards to that, let me ask you, are any of those cameras a little bit closer to be able to see an individual's face or what they're wearing?
Yes.
And why is that? I'm going to pause the video here. Why is that? Why do you have cameras that are closer to people as compared to a camera like this, which appears to be up in the corner?
So some of the departments, we consider them high risk, meaning that there's a lot of theft that comes out of that department. So there's better camera angles in those aisles. So some of them are closer, not exactly face level, but it's almost face level. It's probably about 6.5, 7 feet from the floor. And we call those the public view monitors. And that's because when you enter the aisle, the camera, there's a monitor above the camera that shows yourself in that aisle. So you can actually see yourself in that aisle.
A customer can see themselves.
Correct.
And what's the point of having that set up?
So people know that they're on camera.
What I'd like to do is talk with you about, I'm going to leave this video footage here for a moment. I'd like to go to a different track if I can to one of those cameras so you can kind of explain that to us. Specifically, I'd like to go to a track that you provided listed Cosmetics EVPM 6, again on December 30th, 2021, 14/28/33 through 14/28/51. Is this one of those cameras?
It is.
You see the gentleman in the tan hat here?
I do.
You stated before about his jacket. Is that still on or has that been removed?
It's been removed.
Could you please point out where the gentleman in the tan hat is? And the lady in the black coat. Is that the same, are those the same individuals that we saw before coming into the store together with the other female wearing the light blue sweatshirt?
Yes, that's correct.
Pressing play. What's written on the back of his jacket there? Or shirt, excuse me.
Staff.
Staff. And the front of the shirt, did you see the logo?
I did. I don't recall. I believe it was Coors Light or something of that nature.
You have cameras on multiple areas of the cosmetics aisle, so can we follow where they went to right after they turned the corner there?
Yes.
I'd like to now play for you a track you provided listed cosmetics EPVM4, again, December 30th, 2021, 14/28/47 through 14/29/13, and ask you some questions about this. The two individuals that walked in the middle of the screen, did you recognize who they were?
Yep, those are the same individuals.
Now I'd like to move to the next track that you provided, Cosmetics EVPM 6, December 30th, 2021, 14/29/10 through 14/29/21. These are the same individuals that we're seeing here on this video?
Yes.
Can you, now that you've got, to be able to see the gentleman, can you make out what's on his shirt?
I see the letters COO.
And from this aisle, does that progress to another aisle that has video footage of the two of them closer up like that?
I believe so, yes.
I'd like to now show you the file that you provided, Cosmetics EVPM 5, December 30th, 2021, from 14/29/18 through 14/32/16. Let us know if you see those same two individuals come on this video clip, please.
I do.
Could you point out where they are?
This is the
Hey y'all. I'm sorry about that. My internet keeps going off. So, did I hit the phone button back, gals? My internet keeps going off, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the live for today because I'm just keep having trouble. We may come back later on this evening. I'll skim through it and see if there's anything important and uh and try to play it back and us discuss it. But y'all won't be mad at me if I end it today because I'm just continuing to have problem after problem with my internet, and there's really no sense of being on here if it keeps going off. So I got some things I gotta do today anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the live for today. We'll be back Monday. Hopefully my internet will be better. If y'all have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button, that like button. That helps my channel to grow. Go on over there to Beautiful Designs and subscribe over there. But I just don't see that it's just going to be one thing right after another. And I'm going to I'll be back later on this evening. We'll have a chit chat like we did last night, maybe talk about it and play some stuff that I think might be important. But ultimately, it's just going to keep giving me a hard time today. So I love you all. Y'all stay prayed up. You stay safe out here on these YouTube streets. Like I said, we'll be back Monday morning to cover this trial when my internet's better. Um, I love you guys. Take care. God bless you guys. I'll be back tonight. Thank you for being here with me. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.